What's up guys, my name is Brandon and I've been using the iPhone XS Max here as my daily driver ever since it got released last month, and today I figured I'd show you guys what I'm running on my iPhone, all the applications I'm running on my daily driver device. So this has been a very highly requested video for like the past year or so on my channel. So I've had a lot of people leaving comments, a lot of people over on social media asking me what I'm using on my device, so I figured now is the perfect time to show you. So yeah, there's not really much to say. Let's just go ahead and get into the video. Let's show you what I'm running here on my iPhone XS Max. I am running iOS 12.0.1 right now, and the reason I'm running iOS 12.0.1 instead of 12.1 is because I had to downgrade so I can compare the selfie camera to 12.1 and see if Beautygate officially got fixed in 12.1, and I actually made a full video on that. If you didn't see it, check it out up in the cards right now. But the overall consensus was that 12.1 is definitely better. It does fix Beautygate, so when 12.1 comes out, definitely upgrade your phone to it, especially if you have the iPhone XS, XS Max, or the iPhone XR. And then you can see here my background is the new iPhone XS background. It's the orangish brown color. There are different variations of this, but I do have that as my background here. And so now let's talk about the actual applications on my device. So you can see the first row is just your basics, your Safari, your settings, camera. Then we have the folder right here, which mainly consists of default applications aside from Geekbench 4, which I do like to use to compare, especially when new phones come out. I like to compare the Geekbench scores in there. Then we have speed tests. Once again, I really only use this when there are new devices and I want to test the speed, the LTE speeds and the Wi-Fi speeds. I'll also use that sometimes if like websites are loading slow and I want to see if it's my internet or if it's the actual website host. Then we have clock, weather, we have the blah folder right here, which again is a lot of default applications. I do use the news application a bit, that is in there. Stocks I don't really use that much. We have FaceTime, we have Watch, not really too much going on in here, nothing interesting, which is why the title of this folder is blah. And then the third and fourth row here are the most important applications on my front page. This is all my social media, which by the way, if you aren't following me on all these platforms, definitely go ahead and do so. Those links are all down in the description below. We have Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We have YouTube Studio, which YouTube Studio is really cool. This is where I go to see all my analytics. I can see my real-time views, I can see my watch time, my overall views, I can see my revenue, my discovery, I can see where my audience is coming from. And then I also have comments right here, which is where I go to reply to you guys. You can see I can thumbs up a comment, I can heart a comment, I can reply. I go in this application at least 10 to 20 times a day. I just love going in here and responding to you guys and seeing all the comments, seeing how my views are doing, you know, seeing the real-time views of the videos, being able to respond to you guys is just awesome. So I'm sure all YouTube creators know about this application, but it's cool for some of you guys that aren't creators just to see, you know, get an insight of the application that I use and see how well it is laid out for me. So we have Facebook, we have Reddit, which I do love using the default Reddit application instead of something like Apollo or some of the other Reddit clients out there. For some reason, I just love the default Reddit client. We have Amazon, of course, which is where I go to shop a lot more than I'd like to admit. Amazon Prime, 100% worth it. Anyways, we have Nest down here, which I do have a Nest camera here in the house. Now, I don't have the thermostat or anything like that. I do plan to get more smart home products, or Nest products, I should say, so I can be able to control the thermostat and things like that, the Nest doorbell, all that stuff from my phone. But for now, I just have the camera. Nest application, a must-have. This is by far the best security camera, in my opinion. The UI of the application is just great. And then we have Bleacher Report, which is my sports application of choice. This is where I go to see all the scores, all the news. You can see over here on the homepage, we have the scoreboard up top of the top games, the upcoming games. We have some news right here. You can see you can follow your teams. All my follow teams are right here. And then next we have the ESPN Fantasy Football app, which I am a big fantasy football player. So that's a great app to be able to see the matchups. And actually some of you guys watching this video may be in my fantasy football league. I did post a tweet when the season first started asking you guys if you wanted in, and some of you guys did do so. So that's another perk of following me over there on Twitter. But next we have the weather application, which is great, especially if you live in Florida. We always get a lot of rain and hurricanes and things like that. So I like being able to check the radar to see where the rain is and things like that, and the thunderstorms and the lightning. You see it's pretty bad over there and near Pensacola and New Orleans. So it's really cool to be able to check it. It's always good to have a Doppler radar when you're in a place like Florida. Then we have HODL down here in the bottom left, which is my cryptocurrency tracker of choice. You can see right here, I could track the real-time prices. I can see the charts of things like Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, all this good stuff. You can see the charts right here. There is also a widget for this, which is awesome. You can go in and out of these charts and see it by the year, by the day, by the week, by the hour. So yeah, if you're into cryptocurrency, this is definitely the best application for it in my opinion. Then we have Facebook Messenger, Chick-fil-A. So if you like Chick-fil-A, if you go to Chick-fil-A a lot, you definitely need the Chick-fil-A application. I love this application. I live by it. I love it. It's just great. You get free food, you get rewards. You can see right here, since I'm a member, I only have 179 points right now, but you can redeem these for free food. And sometimes there will be like promotions going on where you get free food as well, just if you have the application. So you do have to scan it when you go up to the register. You can pay for it as well. You can preload money into there so that when you scan your phone, it automatically pays for it as well, which is awesome. I know I'm fat, and that's why the Chick-fil-A application takes a spot on my first page on my iPhone, and it always will. And then we have Spotify down here. I will show you guys some of my latest songs that I'm listening to right here. You can see these are some of the songs I've been listening to. So if you want to steal some of these songs, look through some of these songs, you can see these are some of the songs I'm listening to right now. Going over to the second page, we have MyFitnessPal, which is my fitness tracker of choice. This is where you can track basically your weight. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to bulk up. I use it for bulking up. You can also use it for, just tracking your food, tracking your water. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're going on a diet, this is a great application for it, especially if you have an Apple Watch as well. I do have an Apple Watch, so it's convenient to be able to have these sync together. And you also get progress charts and things like that. So it's a really awesome application. Next, we have Fly Delta, which is a great application if you do fly Delta, if you want to book a flight, or if you just want to see when your upcoming flights are. I personally use it to see when my upcoming flights are and to be able to check in and change seats and things like that. So you can see here, I leave in 54 days and 23 hours. It's actually gonna be 55 days. This is just until check-in to Kennedy. So going into JFK on December 20th, I like looking at this application. I like opening this application just to see how far away this trip is. It's really cool to be able to do that in here. Again, you can book from here as well. You can see your past trips and things like that. So really cool if you do fly Delta. Next, we have the DFS folder, which is for daily fantasy sports. I am a big daily fantasy sports player as well. You can see we have FanDuel and DraftKings right there. This is basically where you can bet on teams. You pick a team, basically you pick players who have good matchups or you think are going to do good, and you compete against others for money. So you can see this week I've entered $17. You can see these are my lineups. If you want to steal them, go ahead. I'm really confident in the middle one. They're not final yet. It is still a few days away from the games on Sunday, but you can see these are my lineups right there. So DraftKings, a ton of fun. FanDuel is the same thing. I just prefer DraftKings a little bit more. Then we have voice memos. We have eBay, which is great for picking up secondhand items. I like to do this for phones. I sell a lot of phones. I sell a lot of old things in the house on there. So I gotta have eBay here on the second page. We have Google Home, which is great for Chromecast. If you have Chromecast on your TV, this is the way to control it. We have Amazon Alexa. Of course, I do have an Amazon Echo, so I do have the Alexa application. We have Flipboard right here, which is pretty interesting. Now, I don't really use this as much as I used to because I do use the default Apple News application, but I still do like Flipboard. I like how if you go into something, you can actually swipe up and down. It's not on this article right here, but basically it's called Flipboard because you can see the little animation there when you go to a new page, it flips, which I really love. And it's really cool because you can choose like what kind of news you want to see on your feed, which is really convenient. You can do like technology, you can do entrepreneurship, you can do sports, you can do all that. So really, really great application. You can save things as well, which is cool. Anyways, we have the folder next, which is just news. We have Yelp, we have contacts, find my iPhone. We have ad block here, which I use to block ads in Safari. We have the sub count application, which I only use for the widget. So if we go over here to my widgets, you can see my real-time sub count, which is awesome if you are a creator. And then we have the compass, and then the next page we have Bitmoji. We have one blocker, which I actually use in tandem with ad blocker. So pretty much every single ad in existence gets blocked when I use both of those in combination. We have iVPN, which is a VPN service. It's actually not my preferred VPN service. NordVPN is my preferred service now, but iVPN is one that I did use in the past. Truecaller right there, which blocks spam callers. And then we have the money folder, which is where I manage a lot of my finances. So you can see we have PayPal, Stripe, Mint, which is great for budget tracking. If you're trying to find a great budget tracking application, Mint is definitely the way to go. We have Amazon Seller and Shopify, which are my applications I use to check my sales on both of those platforms. We have my banks right there. And then we have Venmo and Cash App, which once again, I just use for micro transactions. Then we have the work hard emoji folder right here, which is basically just my work folder. We have Google Drive, Google Docs. We have Slack, which is great for chatting with people if you don't necessarily want to text people and if you want to text a lot of people at the same time or chat with a lot of people at the same time. It's really great for managing teams and talking with team members. We have Asana, which is great for tracking tasks, both if you want to set tasks for yourself like I do, or if you want to set tasks for other people to do and for them to mark complete just so you make sure they are staying on track. So you can see right here, I have all my tasks here in a calendar view. This does look better in the desktop application, it, but it does look good on mobile as well. So you can see all the numbers right here, all the dates in September. If you have a dot under it, that means that there are tasks for that day. So you can see basically I'm just having shoot, edit video, shoot, edit video, upload video, things like that, just to keep myself on track with everything. You can see a calendar view. You can also see a task view right here. So really great application. I love Asana for tracking my tasks and making sure I stay on track and stay focused. Then we have Splashtop, which is a really interesting application where I can actually control my iMac back there when I'm like 100 miles away, 1,000 miles away, whatever. Even on LTE, I can control my iMac. So this is a really cool application because sometimes I'll export a video or I'll start exporting a video or I'll start uploading a video and then I'll have to leave and go do something. But with this application, I can actually take control of my computer from a distance. If I'm like in a grocery store or something like that, or if I'm somewhere else doing something, I can go onto here and log into my computer and perform that next step. So maybe if the video got done exporting, now I can go to YouTube and start uploading. And by the time I get back, it will already be uploaded. And that saved me a ton of time just by doing that. So Splashtop, a lot of use cases for it, a great application if that's something you would be interested in. Then we have View Lite, which is a really interesting application for tracking stars. You can basically put your phone, it uses AR. So you put your camera up to the sky and it'll show you what star is what. It'll show you where the moon is, where the sun is, and things like that. Really cool application if you're into that kind of stuff. We have Booking.com, which is my go-to application for booking hotels. We have Google Maps, which I still am a fan of Apple Maps over Google Maps, but sometimes in some instances I do use Google Maps. We have the Apple Store application, which I use mostly just for pre-ordering phones and tracking my shipments in there and tracking my orders. We have the Activity application right there, which I don't really use too much. I could probably delete that. We have FameBit, which is an application for creators to find sponsors. We have Amazon Photos, which I do use. We have Xfinity, my account. I do have Comcast Xfinity for my internet, unfortunately. We have Airbnb, which is a great application, of course, for finding places to stay when you're on vacation or if you're going to an event. We have Google Authenticator, which I use to log into certain applications and certain websites, I should say. We have RCT Classic, which is Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic. I actually included this in a video last year, I believe it was last year. Great application. This is one of my favorite games to play on the iPhone, period. We have Twitch, which is good for watching video games and watching people commentate. It's not even just for video games, but I mainly use it to watch video games. We have Ubereats right there, which is great for if you're a lazy person like me and sometimes you just don't feel like cooking anything, you don't even feel like leaving your house, so you want people to bring food to you. Ubereats is the way to go for that, as long as they have good stuff near you. So now onto the third page, we have Pinterest, which I don't really get on too much. It's pretty good for finding like recipes and things like that, but I'm not a huge Pinterest user. I am a fan of it, I'm just not a huge user of it. We have Files, which is where I store a lot of my stuff for iCloud. We have Citymapper, which is an awesome application. Let me go ahead and open this and show you about Citymapper. Now, just to preface this is not available in every city, but you can see right here, it says the ultimate transport app, reinventing the way you navigate your city. So if we click get started, you can see you have all these big cities right here, and I use this for New York. It was awesome in New York. It showed me walking directions to pretty much everything. So you can see right here, you can see the maps, you can see the subway, the bus, bikes, paths, the ferries, Uber, you can see all this stuff. And basically you can just, it shows you walking ways to get home. And it's hard to really explain. It's hard to actually portray how valuable this is. But when I was in New York last year, this application saved my life so many times. I was so grateful for this application. So if you're going to a new city for the first time, not even for the first time, if you're just in one of these cities that it supports, try this application. It is awesome. And these are the cities right here. You can see all of these are the cities. Again, it is most of the big cities here in the US, like New York, Philadelphia, DC, Chicago. We have Boston, Toronto, Montreal, but they are expanding to other cities as well. But love that application. But anyways, next we have Netflix, which I don't really use on my phone, but sometimes occasionally I will use it. And then of course we have Uber, which everybody should have Uber on their phone no matter what. Then we have IG, which is an application I use, or a folder I should say, I use for editing photos. I have Afterlight, PicFrame, Snapseed, Square Ready, WordSwag, Prisma, Filmboard, and then unfollowers to see who unfollowed me. I don't really care about that anymore. But basically, these are just all the applications I use to edit and modify my pictures to get ready to post onto Instagram. Then we have the Firehouse Subs application. You guys know I'm fat. You know I love my food applications. This is great. Again, you do get rewards for going to Firehouse and redeeming your points or putting your points in there. You can get free subs and you get stuff for your birthday and things like that. Next, we have Opentable, which is a great application for booking reservations at a restaurant. So you can see I've had all these reservations here in the past. You can see you can book it and you can review it. Basically, if you go onto a reservation or onto a restaurant, I should say, you can see you can book it right here just with a simple tap of a button. So like for today, if I wanted to book a 1 p.m., I could click on that. and then just click on reserve right there. You can book for 2 people. You can change that as well. You can see the menu from here. You can see the overall ratings. You can see where it's located, you can see the pricing, everything. Opentable, by far one of my most useful applications on my phone. It's great to be able to reserve a seat at a restaurant with a simple click of a button on your phone. Then we have Hotel Tonight, which is another great application if you are a frequent traveler. So this is great to get discounted rates on hotels. You can see right here, it's basically only if it's last minute. So if you don't really know where you're going and you need to find a place quick for cheap, this is a great place to do so. You can see the UI is really great as well. If we're looking in Savannah, Georgia, you can see the prices right here are all pretty reasonable. We have American right there. If you do fly American, that's a great way to be able to book flights and see your current flights. We have Fing. We have Vivino, which Vivino is great if you are a wine drinker. I do like red wine myself, so this is great to be able to scan a barcode of wine and just be able to look up reviews of certain wines and just find new wines. It's a really great application. So if we go to my profile right here and look at my wines, we can see all of my wines right here. Basically, if you go on to one of these, you can see the ratings, you can see the average price. You could basically buy it from there as well. You can see where it's sold. You can see the taste characteristics right there, what people talk about, all that good stuff. So Vivino, definitely a must-have application if you are into drinking wine. We have Tropical Smoothie Cafe. You guys already know I'm fat. That's great for ordering on the go. We have TripAdvisor. We have Universal Florida, which is great for checking lines if I go to the Universal Florida theme parks like Islands of Adventure or Universal. We have LastPass, which is where I manage all my passwords. And then we have a bunch of games right here, which I don't even play. These are all only installed for speed test purposes, so I don't play any of these games or use any of these. I use the Measure application sometimes. But next page, the last page here, we have Shortcuts, which I am on Shortcuts, the beta version right now. So you can see I have all my shortcuts in here. And if you're curious about shortcuts and you want to find the best shortcuts in iOS 12, I did make a video on that. You can check that out up in the cards right there. I love shortcuts. I use shortcuts all time. Then we have NordVPN, which is my VPN service of choice, like I mentioned earlier. Then we have TestFlight, which is where developers, I should say, can send out betas to people that get invited. So basically, I got invited to test out Shortcuts beta. So I go to TestFlight to download the beta version of that application. And then the final one on here is PlayStation View, which is great for watching TV if you don't want to pay for cable. I don't really use it that much, but it is great if you want to be able to watch live TV without paying the ridiculous prices of things like Comcast or whatever local cable provider you have. So that's pretty much all my applications on the bottom here. I have my phone, my messages, my email, and my music. Of course, my 4 most used applications are always down in the dock. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that's on my iPhone XS Max. Hopefully you guys found some new applications or just got an insight as to what I use on my phone. You know, you can learn a lot about a person, I guess, from what they have on their phone. So yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys think about everything that was on my iPhone XS Max. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Hopefully I did entertain you. I'm sure this video wasn't too short. It probably wasn't too long, but I'm sure you enjoyed some snacks while watching this video. But anyways, make sure you guys subscribe for iPhone XR coverage starting tomorrow and possibly another What's on My iPhone next year. So yeah, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.